Our cities have become big and hungry. They consume enormous quantities of fresh food daily. Some can count on thriving food markets, the bellies of our cities. Their colors and liveliness stimulate our senses and trigger our taste buds. Budapest, Vienna, Turin, Lyon and Barcelona all have a central market, which connects us to the region and its seasonal products. In the belly of the city explores these markets, their products, their people. At the northeastern edge of Austria, on the banks of the Danube, lies Vienna. Already a flourishing city during the Habsburg Empire, the capital of Austria is a city of music thanks to Mozart, Strauss, Haydn, Schoenberg and Mahler, and a city of dreams thanks to Sigmund Freud. Surrounded by a grand boulevard, the Ringstrasse, the center elates the city's past and opens its doors to the future. A variety of architectural styles, ranging from Baroque to modern, attract tourists from all over the world. Along a main road leading from the west into the heart of the city, Vienna reveals an animated and tasty side. The Naschmarkt, a flow of joyous food on display. Winding for roughly 800 meters over the covered Wien River, the Naschmarkt is a city of food. Here, local goods and foreign delicacies are on offer, making the location a lively, sensual, and seductive urban mix. A throng of buyers and onlookers meander through the narrow alleys laden with stalls. Excited by the scent of spices, distracted by the smell of sausages and Middle Eastern roasts, stunned by the diversity of gourds, tubers, foliage, and exotic fruit on display. The Naschmarkt is in vogue, a hotspot for taste and communication. Visitors don't only come to buy, they pilgrim to the market to meet with friends, chat, drink a glass of wine, and report the latest on who's who in Vienna. A journey into the food on offer at the market must start with Käseland, a stall that many Viennese call the paradise of cheese. Here you can find varieties coming from different origins, as well as those from Austria, the essence of their cheese-making excellence. Undisputed masters in the preparation of cheese, Austrians have made this food the country's gastronomical treasure.
We have a really good mountain cheese from Vorarlberg, from Siebratsquell. For the kids, I'd suggest one ripened for 6 months.
Very well. Can I taste it?
Sure. Or if you like, I could suggest something special, the Hayflower cheese. That might be something for the kids.
Like winemakers, each producer gives a distinctive touch to their cheese, and this can change from year to year. Helena Harrer and all those serving at Käseland are similar to fine sommeliers. They match the desires of their customers with a variety of tastes on offer.
To start with, I'd try something mild. Mr. Bayreuther has done miracles with his 6 to 12-month-old mountain cheese and mountain cheeses in general. Or the Backsteiner, a variety of the Rotschmeer cheese. They're delightful.
This is something I would enjoy. It's more for me, isn't it? Delicious.
Yeah, he did well again.
The secrets are in the making. The spicy, aromatic cheese is prepared in copper boilers by a cheesemaker in Western Austria. As with a number of other Austrian specialities, it is made using raw cow milk. Most come from the Alps, where the water is pure and the meadows are rich and natural. Here, cooperatives uniting farmers and cheesemakers produce several cheeses. Among them is a special sour one made with skimmed milk called the Tiroler Graukäse. In the Tyrolean Alps, it is usually eaten with oil, vinegar and onions.
Many thanks for the generous tip.
You're welcome. Have a nice day.
On Fridays and Saturdays, the market hosts farmers that produce fruit and vegetables in the region surrounding Vienna. Gerhard Zubeck believes in direct contact with his customers so that they can understand more about the products he cultivates. One of his specialities is the Styrian pumpkin seed oil.
So your pumpkin oil is made by Styrian recipe?
Yes, it's a Styrian recipe with typical pumpkin seed oil.
This is something typical Austrian. You will not find it anywhere else, right?
Oh yes, of course, very typical. Please, taste it.
With an intense nutty taste, this characteristic oil serves as a salad dressing when combined with honey or olive oil. Surprisingly, it can also be used on desserts, giving vanilla ice cream a nutty flavor. As Gerhard reveals, pumpkin seed oil is a valuable dietary supplement, preventing arteriosclerosis and regulating cholesterol levels.
This is wonderful and it tastes really good with salad.
Delicious. Marvelous.
Und das ist eben dieser nussige Geschmack.
Gerhard leads the production of an organic farm not far from Vienna. Austria is the #1 country in Europe for the amount of organically farmed land.
Wir haben bis zu 60 verschiedene.
In our fields, we cultivate over 60 different sorts and varieties of vegetables.
Und wir versuchen schon noch immer Vielfalt
We
zu
try
haben.
as best we can to keep a certain level of diversity, which of course isn't easy considering the size of the land.
Es auch so anzulegen, dass es
There are certain risks involved regarding the future of our farm.
The farm has the ambition of bringing healthy food to the Viennese, as well as the idea that it is possible to develop our agriculture and make it profitable.
Wir haben einen 90 Hektar Betrieb.
We have a 90-hectare business.
Hauptsächlich und schwerpunktmäßig mit
We mostly use it to grow organic vegetables, which are typical of this region.
Haben wir über 100
In the high
Mitarbeiter
season,
in
we
der
employ over
Hauptsaison.
100 people.
Das heißt, es zeigt sich auch immer wieder, dass
And we are not the only ones.
die Landwirtschaft, wenn
That shows
sie
us
sich
that when
um die
agriculture
Vermarktung
considers
kümmert und
opening up to
Vermarktung
marketing,
kümmert,
and of course selling its own products,
Wertschöpfungsstufen am
it
Hof
creates
ist,
employment.
eben auch einen Beschäftigungseffekt haben kann.
The farm is a model promoting local development and counting on nature. The sun and wind are used to provide the energy they need. Wood is used in all their constructions.
Wir haben das Glück hier in Glinsendorf.
We're lucky living near the city here in Glinsendorf. The way we live here, including our marketing ideas, works well because we have 1 million potential clients on our doorstep.
Millionenpublikum vor der Haustür haben.
The inspiring concept makes the direct link between farmers and consumers a successful philosophy. The most outstanding of all the stalls at the Naschmarkt is the vinegar stall run by Erwin Gegenbauer. Erwin is a true lover of products that come from nature. His fruit and balsamic vinegars are in high demand from New York to Tokyo, both amongst connoisseurs and top chefs.
Spargel ist vielleicht recht interessant, ja.
Asparagus is really interesting. From the juice of white asparagus and a double fermentation, we make this particular vinegar. If you're making a sauce hollandaise, for instance, and you know that you have to put some vinegar in your hollandaise, then I would personally use this vinegar to bring out the taste of the asparagus.
Ich hebe quasi das Aroma des Spargels mit dem Spargelessig noch einmal hoch.
An interesting suggestion.
You see, this comes directly out of the fruit, and that makes the difference.
While most people think of it being only made from wine, vinegar only requires a fermentation of sugar and can be made from almost anything that contains it: fruits, grains, whey, sugars, or vegetables.
You know what a quince is, right?
Yes.
It has an intense aroma.
A soft honey aroma, although we do not add any honey.
All right, we'll take it.
Okay, dann machen wir das noch. Okay.
You convinced us.
Good.
Spargel.
Erwin collects the fruit he uses for his vinegar from the region. The raspberries are from the Viennese forest, the black currants are from the northwestern region of Austria, and the blueberries grow in Styria. Erwin's favorite fruit comes from a rather special place in the city of Vienna, the gardens of Schönbrunn.
I once heard that they have beautiful fruit in Schönbrunn. I was intrigued. Thinking of Schönbrunn, we see the castle and Princess Sissi and maybe Emperor Franz Joseph. But I was lucky and found these quinces here. And they let me use them to produce vinegar. I fell in love with these marvelous gardens behind the castle of Schönbrunn that give a variety of wild fruit, reminding us of the old times. I also fell in love with the atmosphere given by these quinces, and maybe you can feel it in its vinegar.
These gardens have been bearing a vast variety of rare and wild fruit for over 200 years.
Die Quitte ist für mich ja eigentlich die Götterfrucht. Ein Parfum unter den Früchten.
For me, the quince is the fruit of the gods. The perfume of the fruit is heady and exciting, and touching it gives a special feeling. The quince is almost forgotten. Nobody uses it anymore because it is bitter, sharp, and sour. But these are part of our tastes. Our buds perceive four main tastes: sweet, sour, acid, and bitter. The quince has a strong bitter taste, which had a long culinary tradition, but is not used too much today. If I braise this quince while roasting a duck or a goose, for example, I'll get a wonderful fruity gravy. The bitter aroma of the quince, together with the fat of the goose, makes it taste wonderful and easier to digest. You cannot possibly ask for more.
Also was will ich noch mehr haben?
Even when the ingredients are the best in the world, making vinegar is a very complicated operation.
Ja, wichtig ist, dass wir den frisch
It is important to use the juice when it has been freshly pressed. The quince is very sensitive, and if you wait too long, it begins to ferment. It then gets softly boiled at a maximum of 78, 79 degrees. It is a very long procedure, lasting almost one day and a night, about 20 hours.
The moist is constantly controlled to create the optimal living conditions for the bacteria. Erwin is called the aroma catcher. Erwin follows it constantly, sometimes getting up at night, taking samples and testing the alcohol and the acidic content. Once the bacteria has settled, the vinegar is stored in glass cowboys until it is ready to be slowly matured in small oak barrels. His vinegars then need up to 5 years before they can be appreciated. The Gegenbauer family established the company in 1929, producing pickles and soured vegetables. During the war, they had to produce their own vinegar from the fruits available. When Erwin took over the business, he went on experimenting.
In these barrels, there are our apple balsamic vinegars. They're very young. 2008, we can't taste them yet. 2007 starts being interesting.
Unlike other vinegar producers, Erwin willingly explains how he makes his quality vinegar. On the roof of the brewery, he keeps the balsamic wine vinegar under the open sky.
We keep the barrels of balsamic vinegar on the roof. In winter, because of the freezing cold, we say the vinegar sleeps. The cold doesn't damage it, on the contrary, conserves it. In summer, the sun shines on the barrels, heating them to high temperatures, just like in a glass house. Through this heating, the water in the vinegar evaporates through the pores of the wood, and by this very procedure, the vinegar gets concentrated. This repeating cycle of winter and summer gives the balsamic vinegar that wonderful harmony. Let's see where we are with this one. I'll check the level. You can already see how much water has evaporated. I can't even reach it anymore. Let's see in the next barrel.
Here the process can be much longer, taking even 20 years, but the little that remains is extremely savory and precious for the palate.
Look at the color. This one, especially noticeable by its color, is a Muscatel balsamic which has been left here for approximately 10 years. We did not add any sugar or chemicals during the fermentation, and that's why it's not black. It is an absolute product of natural essence. Let's taste it. Oh yes, I think it can make us happy.
Good taste, quality and sensuality have always been considered important in Vienna. The center of the city is shaped by magnificent imperial buildings. The area where there is the Naschmarkt today was never planned to be a market, but really should have been a boulevard running from the center of Vienna to Schönbrunn Castle and its gardens. The curved road would have given the possibility to build around the Vienna River that runs under the market still today. The area did not have a good reputation, and the authorities allowed the avant-garde artists to exhibit their works here. In the 19th and early 20th century, the whole area developed as a center for modern art and architecture. The Kutscher stall has been at the Naschmarkt for 4 generations. It has witnessed the changes from a very popular to a trendy market. Yet Karl and his wife Gabriela continue selling fruit and vegetables there.
We can mix them, they're all good.
Fine.
Which shall I give you?
I'll take 4 of those and 1 kilo of these.
Gladly.
Most of their vegetables are farmed on their own land, even though they need to constantly supply at the wholesalers to support demand.
Yes, Styrian plums.
Could I have a kilogram?
Should we mix them up with the big domestic ones?
The stall bears a variety of plums and stone fruit, apples and pears from alpine valleys and different berries, all from the Austrian regions. Gabriela and Karl always wear their traditional Viennese clothes at the market. It's a habit, but also a promotional tool underlying their link to tradition. Karl's grandmother used to bring their harvest to the Naschmarkt with a horse-drawn buggy. Now their land is part of the urbanized area surrounding Vienna. Times have changed, but their plot is still dedicated to the growing of rare and old vegetables. At the end of summer, it is time for the celery roots.
There's still a lot of work to be done here, and it's never finished.
One of the oldest root vegetables recorded in history, it is a perfect non-starch substitute for potatoes when peeled, grated and cooked in lemon juice or milk.
Let's see how the carrots are doing.
Together with their son, who takes care of the gardens, Karl checks the ripeness of the various crops, harvesting what is ready.
They're all the same.
They look fine anyway. No worm at all.
Another of their specialities is the dark, ancient carrot called Urkarotte, which is richer in vitamins and minerals than the more common carrots.
And now?
Now we start again. Same for every row.
I'll start from here.
The Kutschers have gained such a name that they have started a delivery service bringing the fresh vegetables from their plot and the Naschmarkt directly to the homes of the clients. Just in front of the Kutschers' stall, there is another vegetable stand run by Mario Berber. They are friends, as Mario's family has been managing the stand for 35 years now.
I know, they have a totally different climate over there. That's why they're so beautifully orange.
How much are they?
It's $1.50.
Gabriela and Mario often discuss the products they have on sale, as Mario gets most of his from suppliers coming from the south of Europe.
But is it true that pumpkins belong to the berry family?
That's true.
Really? They're the same family as blackberries and so on.
Pumpkins belong to the same family as berries, that's true.
You don't say.
Mario was born in Austria, but his parents came from Greece, adding a typical southern European touch to the stall.
The pumpkins look really great.
And they are good. I can highly recommend them.
Mario thinks that he needs to diversify his products and has decided to offer ready-prepared foods that his mother prepares at home. Spinach pies, tzatziki, and various breads. He has also started to sell locally brewed beers, making his stall a popular meeting point for many youngsters. The Naschmarkt has become a place of encounters. When some of the stalls take away their products from the alleys, others spread the road with their tables and chairs. The market becomes a trendy chill-out. Many stall vendors have expanded their activity and now serve their products hot. Unique to this market, its nightlife is intense and suggestive. Strolling around the 120 stalls of the market is in some way like exploring different continents.
What's that?
Don't you know it?
Where are they from?
From Iran. They're very tasty. You can eat them with the shell. It's best served with goulash. They're special.
Yes, they're dark inside.
I suggest you taste them.
So you eat them with the shell, but you need to cook them first, right?
It's served with goulash. One for every person, and you can eat the shell as well.
Reza Odabai comes from Iran. He bought his stand 20 years ago and sells the most delicious dried fruit, figs, morello cherries, Iranian barberries, smoked almonds, pasticcios, cashew nuts with curry, pomegranate paste, and of course, fresh and dried dates.
In Iran, we eat dates also with omelets. Egg and dates instead of meat.
Eggs with dates?
Yes.
But it's very sweet, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it's a main course, not a dessert.
No, we have it for breakfast.
For breakfast? Omelette and dates for breakfast?
For breakfast, really good. Wait a moment. A little present for you.
Thank you. No, we can't take that.
Reza suggests using the Iranian barberries and his distinguished saffron to make saffron chicken with Barbary rice. It is one of the most loved dishes in the Persian Gulf.
Lovely, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, little guy, we're going to cook tonight.
Next time you come, I'll give you other recipes.
In the Iranian cuisine, dry fruit accompanies meat dishes, giving them that sweet touch, often balanced by cinnamon, garlic, and parsley. More and more of the Naschmarkt's fixed stalls have been taken over by people of foreign origin with a passion for cooking.
Does someone have some chili? Green chili?
Huh? Habt ihr?
Haya Mocho is from Tel Aviv. She put up this restaurant some years ago, naming it after the first letters of her 4 children, Neni.
This is going to be the best Jerusalem teller. There's so much love and passion in it.
Huh?
Some people say too many cooks spoil the broth, but that's not the case here.
Haya brought to Vienna the tastiest and spiciest dishes coming from all over the world. 3 of her children are now helping in the kitchen, and the activity is booming.
It's good, but a little salty.
It's true. The cook is a little absent. Maybe he's in love.
So before he totally loses it, tell him to salt a little less. Okay, the boss says less salt.
Wow. Voila.
I grew up next to a market. I always told myself, if I open a delicatessen, it must be located at the market. That it was the Naschmarkt, that's a coincidence.
Her recipes are exciting treats of chicken and veal with paprika, oriental spices, green tahini, and hummus.
I'm of Romanian descent, but here we have Russians, Ethiopians, people from Morocco, from Yemen, from all over the world. Israel gets a lot of respect because many nations have come to our country. It was clear to me when I opened this place that I'd be working with all the colors of the world. I grew up in a family where everyone cooked. My grandma, my aunts, everyone cooked. Mothers always cooked for their children, so I never had the opportunity of making anything for my parents. When I married Sami, I began cooking at once. At first, I just made tea. Now I cater for 2,000 people.
After having seduced the clients at the market, Haya was convinced to produce and sell her hummus to retailers around the whole country. Made with the freshest of chickpeas, it is blended with tahini, olive oil, lemon juice, salt and garlic. A concentration of iron, vitamin C, proteins and dietary fibers.
The tahini's made in a big pot. You dip the falafel in it. It's a paste of pure sesame seeds, which is diluted with herbs, water and spices, till it becomes a sauce. Thanks to this, the tahini's more liquid. Originally it has a dark color, but as you blend it, it becomes lighter. Now it's perfect. Tahini is an extraordinary food, true poetry. I recommend it. When I eat it, I don't feel guilty, because it's healthy. It's really good.
The Naschmarkt is one of the oldest markets in Europe, but has changed face several times. One of the most significant changes was the introduction in 1916 of the fixed stalls. More recently, new regulations have turned what was a popular market into a trendy one. Alexander Hengel was appointed by the city administration to manage the city markets and control their functions.
We once had a more strict market law until 2006. At this stand, it was allowed to trade only canned food. At the other, only meat. And that was the way it approximately went. Nowadays, these things do not exist anymore, and all kinds of food can be traded. This means that every trader can choose which foods he wants to sell. This helps the free market to expand, obviously, but favors also criticism. Nowadays, at every third stand, you can buy some pickled vegetables.
The arrival of the supermarkets hit the economy of the Naschmarkt severely, but it has been able to renovate itself, attracting local and foreign customers, be it sunny, cold, or rainy.
In my opinion, and the same goes for the Vienna market office, the market regulates itself. If sales go well, it's right that you keep on selling that particular food. When business is poor, however, it is better for the trader to stop selling, sell to another trader, or change the product he is trading.
Even though the attitude of the city administration is very open, the food is constantly checked, and Alexander must be the bad guy.
It's a routine inspection for the food law. I'm going to take a look.
Please.
Can I leave my jacket here?
Of course.
We carry out controls not only on the food safety and work codes, but also for pricing rules. We are the Consumer Protection Division of the city. And as the municipal administration requires, various details must be written. This is one of our main tasks.
Well, the restaurant is doing fine, but the fish is not.
It isn't fresh?
Yes, but it's too hot, and many are now on vacation.
I see.
And it gets more and more expensive, so people don't buy.
Yes, I can tell by the price that it's greatly increased.
Well, if I need to pay 22 euros for a sole...
Yes, I understand.
It's not really helping. I have less merchandise and it's more expensive.
But still, you have a good situation around here at 4490.
While checking the food, Alexander talks to the stall holders to better understand their difficulties and needs.
4 degrees, very good.
Perfect, thanks.
You make your own ice, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Then you grind it?
There's the machine.
Everything is all right. No brown spots. The eyes are not dull. Very good.
The most important with the ray wings is the ammonia odor.
Yes.
I don't order any in summer.
Perfect.
The St. Peter looks great too. It's really fresh. That's important. Can I put it all back again?
Food standards is not the only control issue Alexander deals with. He collects complaints about the products on offer and makes sure the complaint is addressed to. The two Uman brothers, Erka and Gorkan, came here from Turkey and put up this fish stall some years ago. They did good business and decided to renovate and establish a restaurant where clients can eat their fish. It is setting the standard in Vienna as one of the tastiest fish restaurants in town. Gorkan's wife, Şenay, is now in charge of the supplies.
An Italian firm is still our most important supplier for mussels and clams and Mediterranean fish. Wild gilt-head bream, wild red perch, St. Peter fish. These are the ones our customers require most and are generally sold on the market.
Şenay knows her clients' food habits, which she follows, but sometimes challenges them with new proposals.
Muchip?
Yes?
Come and help. Leave a fish for the display. At the beginning when we started, the Austrians didn't really like wild catch. Now that's changed radically. Now they know the gilt-head bream and the temperate bass, the branzino and orate from Italy, and the smaller fish, clams and mussels, they're known. All the rest are still relatively unknown. It's just arrived. The weight? Half a kilo. Is that okay?
From the North Sea comes the soles, turbot, salmon fillet and Atlantic halibut, while from France come all the wild catch, including the sought-after ray wings and sea devil.
People today are more careful. They want to know where the fish comes from, when it was caught, whether it was farmed or caught wild. They want precise and exact answers. Was it caught with nets or with fishing rods? The quality makes the fish more expensive, but the intelligent consumer is willing to pay more for this fish.
No matter where the fish comes from, its freshness is guaranteed. No fish on the stall was caught more than 24 hours ago. And these are the details that count when serving fish. The Austrian cuisine has been influenced by all the countries surrounding it. A stall which has been running for 50 years is the tiny but precious gourmet store run by Gerhard Oberneck.
Wolfgang, servus. Sag einmal, nächste Woche Ausfall.
His stand is legendary. Artists, politicians and members of the Viennese upper class come here when they have some time to spend.
I have some incredible salami. The meat was specially bred for the Fiorentina steaks, and with what is left over, they make this wonderful salami.
So it's beef?
Yes, it's fantastic. They add a little pork grease and a shot of Chianti.
Only a shot, right?
So you don't have to drink too much.
Amongst his most interesting proposals, Gerhard has deer meat, homemade roast beef, and roast pork, and the most incredible hams.
This is one of the most valuable hams I have in my shop. It's made from Magalitza pigs. They get fed and live freely most of the time. A friend of mine has 60 in his farm near the noisy lake. The biggest sow weighs about 390 kilos. My shop lives on good products, not on the so-called Viennese spirit. I have a picture of the Magalitza pig. You see? Before it was slaughtered, I asked them to take a picture. Some women are shocked when they see it. They're really sweet when they're small and weigh 7 kilos. And when they grow up and get really big, you can even ride them.
Served with freshly grated horseradish and dark bread, it is heavenly.
Yes, this is a healthy coat, because it eats a lot of green fodder and bran.
The delicacies that Gerhard keeps are a mix of imported finesses and local luxury bites. Some of these may even be better than the originals produced in other countries.
Amongst the cheese products, one is extraordinary. A friend of mine studied biology. He moved to the countryside, and some years ago he started raising water buffaloes. He makes a stunning mozzarella now, made out of 100% buffalo milk. It arrives here in these buckets. It's delicious, fresh with a compact paste. When you let it rest, it flows on the plate. A 100% buffalo milk burrata.
The exquisite mozzarella Gerhard refers to is produced thanks to the milk of these water buffaloes grazing at an hour's ride from Vienna. The Asian animals were brought to Europe by the Crusaders and can be found in the Balkans and southern Europe. In Austria they disappeared a century ago, but Robert Paget decided to breed them for the quality of their milk.
I've been keeping water buffaloes for almost 10 years now, and I'm still the only one in Austria. My interest for these animals came about when I did some social work in India. There, I worked with goat keepers from Western India on a regular basis. And this is how I got to know the water buffaloes and their milk.
Robert moved to the countryside from Vienna in the 70s and strongly believes in a bond between animals and man.
The milk is really fat, about 8%, and makes every raw milk cheese a really good, round and long maturing cheese.
After his travels in Asia, he decided to research different cheese-making techniques in Europe. In France, he learned how to make goat milk cheese, and in southern Italy, the mozzarella cheese. For Robert, the slow process of cheese-making is an intense, meditative exercise. His whole work is based on principles of simplicity and love for life. He chose this area because he believes the cheese is better if prepared close to where the animals live. The north of the Danube is also a great wine region, where the best Austrian whites are produced. Robert often exchanges his cheese with the wine of his neighbors.
After a precise maturing time, we can stretch the mozzarella to a rubber-like substance. You see?
Mozzarella is made by cutting the cheese and then kneading it when it reaches the right consistency. Over the years, he has learned to understand how the bacteria develops, and he can feel, smell and see when the dough is ready.
After another maturing period, we can go on to the next phase of the process. We add really hot water, 90 to 100 degrees, to the dough, and it gets a rubber-like consistence. Knowing when the dough is ready to be kneaded is the art of producing mozzarella. That rubber-like, elastic consistence makes it possible to give the cheese its particular circular form.
Once ready, it is put in salty water and can be kept for up to a week. Though having it at the market one day later makes quite a difference.
With the European Union regulations, we have a problem. If you produce a mozzarella in Italy containing 51% buffalo milk and 49% regular cow milk, you can write real buffalo milk mozzarella on the label. But the real one is made with 100% buffalo milk and is much better.
The Naschmarkt is not only where foods coming from all over the world meet, it is also where new combinations are developed. And the champion here is Kim So-hee.
Although it's not their season, the strawberries taste really good. How are the raspberries?
These are the Styrian raspberries.
Born in South Korea, when Kim came to Austria, she studied fashion and design, but then discovered her natural talent for cooking.
And now you'd like to have all of this.
Yes, I want all of it. Very well, so what am I going to do anyway?
Today, Kim is one of the most charismatic and highly decorated chefs in Austria.
Hello, dears. What do we have here?
Hi, Kim. How are you?
Today I want to cook fish in banana leaves.
Banana leaves?
Yes, the salmon is smiling at me, but it won't be for much longer.
Salmon fillet in banana leaves?
Yes, the fillet is perfect. This fish is inviting. Hello there, my bream.
Take a look, Ms. Kim. Do you want the whole fillet?
Yes.
Without the skin?
Yes, please. No skin.
Should I cut anything else off?
It's okay. Just remove the skin.
Kim learned to cook from her mother and loves playing with the different food cultures: Asian, Mediterranean, Scandinavian, and of course, the local cuisine. But she never makes the mistake of just mixing together different elements. She has developed her own style based on simplicity and rigor.
Okay, Daniel, more tuna.
Coming.
Is yours done, Danny?
Okay. Yes.
Kim's dishes are never heavy and always very healthy. They are based on the 5 fundamental elements taught by traditional Chinese medicine: earth, wood, fire, water, and metal.
This last ingredient is for the aroma.
Einen schönen aromatischen Geschichte. So.
It's going to be one spicy meal.
At the Naschmarkt, Kim has called her restaurant the studio. It is here that she experiments and organizes cooking workshops where she can pass on her culinary explorations. Today, Kim is going to surprise us with a dish that reveals her style. Said to be a mistake by the chef of Emperor Franz Josef, the Kaiserschmarrn is today considered a masterpiece of the Viennese kitchen.
We beat the egg whites. Not too hard, only a light stirring. I love making Kaiserschmarrn, but I prefer eating it.
But Kim does it her way. In the compost of roasted Styrian plums, she adds an element that takes her back to her roots: ginger.
And now we add a little sugar so that it caramelizes. Some ginger. And finally the plums. Not for too long or they lose color. Okay, so that's done. Good. And now we'll tear it up. Yes, that's how it should be. Light. The dough flows out slightly. Exactly like that. And we tear it up.
The sight of the dish is breathtaking. Today, some of the original stalls at the Naschmarkt are considered a cultural heritage. Some are the leaders of a culinary avant-garde in Vienna. Like a rich and elaborate waltz, the market dances to the music of its food, attracting those who are eager to appreciate it, giving it the attention and time it needs.